You're listening to the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, through the wonders of the internet, we have returned back to your ear holes. My name is Todd Gilbert.
And I'm Brett Fortney, the Hitman.
And we are hanging with the Hitman. And we are hanging with the Hitman. How'd you forget your name?
I don't know.
Did you not like that?
I woke up early. No, actually. Huh?
The ear holes? Weren't not a fan of ear holes?
I woke up too early. Ear holes. I don't want to know about that. I don't want to know about ear holes. No, I slept in a little later today because I had to get up, a few times. So I slept until almost like 9:40, which is very late for me.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like an hour and a half of, trying to get alert and awake. Took a shower on, So I'm just going to try to be fresh. Don't want to know what?
You don't want to know how early I got up this morning.
How early was that?
I've been up since almost 6.
Why is that?
Yeah, sometimes sleep eludes me. It's weird.
Oh,
I'm not a fan.
See, did you go to bed at a good time?
I did. So I don't know.
What time was that?
But also, like, my body doesn't let me sleep any more than 8 hours. No matter when I go to bed.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't get more than 4, maybe 3, 4, 5, 4 before I have to get up, and then I get like an hour maybe. I only get about 5 hours of sleep myself, but I do try to get a quick 45, half hour, 45. Yesterday was almost an hour. A little nap that I took. My body must need it. That's what they say when you sleep a lot, that your body must need it.
Well, I remember reading this thing saying that human beings, like, life would like be so much different if everybody, instead of just sleeping for like 8-9 hours straight, just took naps during the day. Like, you just nap when you're tired, get up, do stuff. Nap when you're tired, get up, do stuff.
Yeah. You think you do? I wonder if there is any kind of research to look that up to see if people are healthy that way, because it seems like the interrupted awake, sleep, back and forth thing would probably not be good on the body.
Well, I mean, it's you wake up when you're not tired anymore, So, like, if you're taking, 2 or 3 3-hour naps, that's basically 6-7 hours of sleep, Yeah, no. When I take my nap, it's usually about a half hour. Yesterday, like I said, was almost an hour, and that was just different. I don't know what that was, but usually 20 minutes to a half hour. That's all. Okay.
Maybe. Yeah. And I do drift. That's my problem. I watch movies and I never finish them because, like I told you before, I'm watching a movie and then I'm waking up. There's no, I'm just going to kick back for a minute and get a little relaxed. No, I'm watching a movie. I might as well have a, pop and a popcorn in my hands and watching a movie. Then all of a sudden I'm not.
And you blink and you wonder what happened to the movie you were watching.
Yeah. Or I'm streaming something and now I'm like 5 episodes in. I'm like, where did it stop? Where do I remember it stopping at? I'm streaming a show at the beginning, and maybe on the second episode, all of a sudden I wake up and it looks like I've watched 6 episodes.
You watched The Last of Us yet?
I don't know. I didn't. I didn't. We've been really busy. We did a lot of stuff at the house last week, and we're just, we're getting ready for Easter.
Blame it on adult life. No, I'm kidding.
We have people coming over on Easter Sunday, and we've been doing this housework and stuff. And
y'all going to be in the backyard hunting for Easter eggs?
Probably won't be doing any of that. I got children who are like 25 and 32.
I bet if you put money in those Easter eggs, though, they'd be hunting for them.
Oh, they'll be right over. They'll be right here, wanting to go on a search. For sure.
Like, Daddy, let's go find the eggs. And they're, 20,
Yeah. Yeah. What kid doesn't get motivated from money? You know what I'm saying?
What person doesn't anymore?
I just said, any child or any person,
Right.
I guess. Yeah.
So,
Oh, well,
man, a lot's happened in the last week. We had a certain former president get arrested. That's kind of fun.
yeah.
America's getting greater by the minute. And Ace Frehley, I don't know if you read about this, but I thought this would be fun to talk about, and just this would be a fun topic for just bands in general, because I know a lot of bands fit into this kind of thing. So once again, there's Kiss drama.
Oh,
Kiss,
I didn't hear
the
about
band
this.
Kiss always has drama. Why? Because it's what they do. So Ace Frehley went on Eddie Trunk's show a week ago and had this whole interview, and Eddie asked him about what Paul said on Howard Stern, which we talked about a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
Paul saying that the band would be called Piss if it was Ace and Pete playing, blah, blah, blah. Ace was really, really mad. And Ace, was saying, it's crazy. He's like, if he was talking about Peter, he would understand, sort of, because Peter doesn't do anything anymore. But Ace is touring and putting out albums and still doing live shows. Yeah. And Ace is still Ace.
Mm-hmm.
So he demanded a formal apology from Paul Stanley. If Paul Stanley did not deliver this apology, he was going to go back on Eddie Trunk's show in a week and dish some dirt about Paul and Gene that no one knows.
That'd be fun.
And he claimed that would ruin their career.
You know what? Think about this. We've always had Paul and Gene spitting out hatred and talking about people and all that stuff. But we really don't have we don't have people talking about them in the way that they talk about other people. They talk about themselves enough to raise their, egos and their probably bank accounts. But I mean, they talk about themselves enough, so I don't even care to talk about what they talk about because I'm just saying, because think about it. We only hear from Gene and Paul ever. Every once in a while, we'll just get a little comment from, whatever, from the other two. But
usually it's Eric. It's usually Eric and Tommy going, "Yeah, that's right, Paul."
Yeah, right. That Howard Stern interview, I think they might have been able to talk for about 5 minutes total for a 2-hour video.
Yeah, and it's funny because the week deadline passed. Ace was back on yesterday, and I listened to it, and apparently he got a phone call from Paul that was a whopping 5 seconds. And and Paul said, this is what Ace says. Paul said, or Ace said that he picked up the phone and Paul said, "Fuck you, Ace. I'm not apologizing for shit," and hung up.
Oh.
Then Ace called Doc right after that, Doc McGee, who is Kiss's manager, for those of you who don't know. And Doc claimed that Paul never called Ace. And Ace said, "Well, no, I've got the records of his phone, of him calling me right here. Look." And because they all have each other's phone numbers and all that.
Yeah.
And so he screenshotted the call and sent it to Doc to see. And Doc's like, "Oh." He's like, "Okay, well, let me call Paul and I'll get back to you." And Ace hasn't heard a thing since. But he reneged on his threat because he said that he spoke to some people like in his recovery group and stuff like that. People saying if you go on the radio and you do that and you talk a bunch of crap and you whatever you're going to reveal or whatever you're going to talk about, you're sinking down to the level that they sunk down to. And they said taking the higher road makes you a bigger person, and they advised him against it. And so and Eddie too. Eddie was like, "Don't. This is a bad idea. Don't do it."
Yeah.
Because no matter what Ace would or wouldn't have had to say, Kiss has a lot of lawyers.
No,
They're
for sure.
rich. Like Ace and
Yes.
Pete have money. Kiss is rich.
They got Kiss money. Like they used to have Kiss money.
They could open up a Kiss circus tomorrow if they felt like it.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
saying.
Well, no, I always felt that that's kind of, I'm sure there's some kind of gag order in there, you know, something to say that if you say this, we're going to sue you and you will owe us like whatever it might be, $1 million, whatever, you know. And I think that's unfair because how are they allowed to diss on, I'm not even saying maybe they're all allowed to do it. I don't know, but I just feel like somehow that Gene and Paul have probably put together a little package that says if you talk bad about us on any kind of broadcast, then we're going to go ahead and take about $5 million from you.
I don't know.
I just had that vibe. I don't know
because
why. Maybe it's just
Peter Criss went on Eddie Trunk a few years ago when Pete's book came out, and it was a long interview. It was really good, but Pete talked a lot about them negatively, and all of them, Ace too. Like, he threw everybody under the bus. Like, there was a bus coming, and Pete's like, "Y'all go ahead and cross the street. I gotta tie my shoes." And here came the bus, crunch. You know, but it seems like you can't. There's a lot of famous bands that do stuff like this, not to this level, but they airing all their dirty laundry in the media. And I just don't see the upside to any of that other than the person who might not be in the band anymore being relevant for a day, you know, getting some clicks on the internet, because Journey is going through the same crap where like, I think it was 2 years ago now, the original drummer and bass player were fired because they tried getting the rights to the name behind Neil Sean's back. And so they fired him. He fired both of them. But now Jonathan Cain and Neil Sean are fighting because Jonathan Cain is a big Trump supporter. And and he went and did, I think it was a rally of some sort, or somebody else that was, you know, like a big endorser supporter or whatever, and used Journey's music, which Neil was not happy about. And also, I guess, like, spent a whole bunch of money of the band's money on stuff involving that. So him and Neil are like locked in lawsuits and bickering and stuff like that. And I think those are the main two. Oh, and then you got and you got Megadeth, Dave Mustaine right now talking all over the internet that Metallica's afraid to play shows with them and talking a bunch of crap about Metallica again. And
why would he want to say that? I mean, I know he's talented and he got dissed and, you know, kicked out of the group and all that stuff. I understand that. And as far as it goes, I mean, he has been vocal about things about being in Metallica and stuff and getting kicked out. He has, but he's been pretty cordial, kind of mostly, almost lately anyway.
Yeah.
So why is he trying to stir stuff up? We know that Metallica is the ruler of that genre. Don't say that you're better. And that's kind of what he's trying to say is like, oh, if you're afraid to play with us, is that what he's trying to say?
I think
is
so. I think, you know, because Metallica and Megadeth like made up, you know, like in the movie that's some kind of monster movie, like Dave Mustaine and Lars met and buried the hatchet, and James and Dave had since buried the hatchet. They did that Big Four tour together where it was Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. Like, and they were all hanging out and being buds and, you know, all this other stuff. So, but Dave Mustaine was saying Metallica's managed by the same people as Megadeth. And when Metallica announced this tour, I guess Dave was mad that they didn't invite Megadeth to be on the tour, saying this is what the fans want. And the fans, metal fans, want this kind of tour. And I'm thinking, what? Who does? Like, are you the... I mean, like, I don't hate Megadeth, but name all the members in Megadeth. I'll wait.
Exactly.
You can't. Dave Mustaine. Because even the original bass player's gone now.
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine fired him over a misunderstanding and won't bring him back. You know? I guess Marty Friedman's back now for a minute, but who knows how long that'll last. But
yeah.
But yeah, like you can't compare the two as far as, I mean, yeah, they're both metal, but like, I mean, if you want to just look at like album sales alone,
yeah,
Megadeth doesn't even stand a chance. You know what I mean? Metallica just smokes them,
for sure.
You know, and you look at their records, and people will say that like that Dave Mustaine wrote the first, you know, album and songs on the second album and blah blah blah. Like, okay, but he didn't play on any of them. You know?
Yeah.
Like, because I know the song Call of Cthulhu on Ride the Lightning is the same chord progression as Hangar 18 from Megadeth.
Yeah. I can hear that.
Because Dave sort of wrote the melody of Call of Cthulhu, and so he took it and made Hangar 18 out of it, which that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, to say that they're on the same level as Metallica is silly, in my opinion, because they're really not.
But it's just the rock version of like how rap guys diss each other and stuff. It's kind of like, you know, you go on TV and talk bad about something. Here's the thing, that what I was just thinking maybe this might be a kind of a cool discussion. Bands who are still playing out there and stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know they still will have their own opinions, even though you're 75 years old or whatever it might be. I'm just putting that number out there.
Right.
As a full, you know, but do you think, I don't know, if you're just trying to go out there, you know, and do a cash grab, do some concerts and stuff, is it really a big deal to have to go, you know, like on like a political view and try to get, you know, your view out there? You know, I would think bands that fight each other and talk shit about each other and talk political stuff, just go out there and fucking play. That's all I'm saying. Just go out there and play your songs. I don't want to hear a bunch of controversy. I love it. You know, it's good gossip, whatever. But
I think
it really, at the end of the day, it saddens me because my favorite group from 1975 now all hate each other. How does that make one feel when you think that, you know, you love this music, you invested all this time and money and love and all this stuff into a group, and then all of a sudden they break them? That's fine, that happens. But then fight
which group
each
is
other.
that?
All of them.
No, I mean, what are you talking about?
Kiss. I'm talking about Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
In particular, or any of them when people leave and then they fight each other on, you know, over the airwaves and stuff.
Yeah.
Why do that, man? Just let it go. Because you're going to, if one of those people, something happens to them, let's just say, you know, there's going to be no reconnection. There's not going to be a sorry, hey, you know, we had a lot of time together. And
when you read, have you read Paul Stanley's book?
Yes.
There's unfinished stuff with him and Eric Carr that Paul never got to get closure with because Eric died. Yeah. You know? Like life is too short, man. Like you made this thing together, and even if you're not in the band together anymore, like going out and attacking each other doesn't help anything. It doesn't push anybody's product. If anything, it makes people not want to listen to you. And
that's what I'm thinking.
And like you were saying with the political thing too, like now I think there's a gray area to that. I think, you know, there are bands that will promote like Amnesty International or like the Red Organization. And that's kind of political, you know, like I know in a couple shows, like U2 on a couple tours would have like, they would have this thing about a political prisoner that is being held unjustly, and they would talk about that. And that I think is okay. But when you start trying to assert your viewpoint, then it's not okay. If you support one political party or the other, or one presidential candidate or the other, and you start like putting that into your shows and making that a purpose and backing of your stuff, that I think is a huge mistake, like you're saying, because it's just going to turn people off from your music, and you're not going to like, look at Ted Nugent. Do you want to go buy a Ted Nugent record anymore?
I just saw Kid Rock on the news yesterday shooting at beer cans saying "fuck Bud Light." Did you hear about that?
Oh my
Did you hear about
God, yes.
Because a transgender person, had what? So let me. How did I remember? Did you remember the story of this? Did you hear about this?
So it's a YouTube influencer, if I remember correctly, or it could be TikTok. Yes. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody in the comments?
It's just an influencer.
But it's a transgender person, and Bud Light has decided to make them a spokesperson.
No. What it was they made this person a can. They made him a can.
Right, but that's what I mean. They decided to make them a spokesperson, and in celebration of that and doing inclusivity, I think that's how you say it, or I made up a word, they made a can for that person. Now, yes. When I read that, and then I've seen people on Facebook, people that I know. I'm not going to name drop people because that's horrible. And we just talked about Kiss doing that. We ain't doing that. But I've seen people say oh, I'm not drinking Bud Light anymore. Or, I'm not drinking Budweiser or blah, blah, blah because of this. And it's does it really matter? In the negative sense, why is it so horrible that somebody that is apparently inspirational to others and influences others in a positive way is celebrated by an alcohol company? Why? Just because you want to get drunk with your straight buddies and go, hunting or whatever, you can't drink a rainbow beer can?
How does that affect him? How does that affect anything? How does it affect anything is what I'm saying.
It does positively.
If they want to, they're trying to show positivity in the LGBTQ community, and that's fine. And this can wasn't going to be just, and even if it was, but he was kind of mad. He thought that because Budweiser had come out, Anheuser-Busch had come out and say, well, this can was made specifically for this person, and we are not going to sell this out into the public. This is just for this person to celebrate and give this, and I don't know if he got mad that that he thought that maybe this was going to go out there in the public. I'm speaking of Kid Rock. I just hate Kid Rock a little more each year. I don't know. He does something so stupid. God. And I'm not saying I hate him. There's people just hate to hate. It's not that I hate Kid Rock. I don't love that he's covered every genre just to stay relevant. That's just my opinion. But I think that he's talented. His music recorded is out of tune, but that's something different too. I'm just ragging on somebody right now. I shouldn't do that. But what I'm saying
I feel what you mean, though.
It just makes me mad. It just makes me mad.
Yeah.
He just pisses me off.
Yeah, sorry. I almost interrupted there. Sorry, but I feel the same way. He's a talented guy. Yes. He puts on a hell of a show. Yes. I've never seen him personally at concerts because I refuse to give him any money, but I've heard from other people and I've seen on YouTube. He puts on a hell of a show, but then he pollutes all of it when he opens his mouth.
Yeah.
He's
not singing.
Well, and the last single he put out that was literally just trashing anybody that was basically not a Republican. And I'm not talking crap about either political side. I'm neither.
I know what you're saying.
But to jump on there and trash a side, regardless of what side it is, it's not okay. It just makes him come off just a piece of shit. And then I listened to the Pamela Anderson interview with Howard Stern, and she talked about her relationship with him and how he was abusive and jealous and a severe alcoholic and all this other stuff. And I cannot get behind him at all. I can't.
I've tried so many times. Look, maybe it's just me, maybe I just had this negative thing about him, but every time he gets on and starts talking how great he is, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's what y'all do. And then it always switches over to something else, and it really bothers me. And I always never end up watching a full interview with Kid Rock, because once that thing turns and he's not talking about entertainment any longer, is the reason that I'm watching and listening, that I'm turning the channel.
Right.
And you know, these people that don't stay neutral, and I understand when it comes to like children and hunger and world disasters and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I understand that political, speak up and, get people caring about it so they can, contribute maybe somehow. I understand that. But the way that he's spewing hatred, just like somebody else with orange hair is doing, has been doing for the last 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done with that. I'm done. Zip. Put it in the freezer. We're done.
I'm not looking to jump into that kind of stuff, because we all know we all know why 34 counts of things are a thing. We all know. And it's not that we're not that kind of show, but but we are the kind of show where it just sitting there spewing hatred from either side does nothing to enrich the lives of any human being. And music is it does. And music is supposed to be uplifting. It's supposed to be escapism. It's supposed to make you think, and sometimes, or just make you want to shake your booty. Like, it's supposed to invoke emotion, absolutely. But I don't want to go listen to music and basically be yelled at about something that I might believe in or don't. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Because we had here in Michigan, here in Davison, last year, Ted Nugent came here. Ted Nugent came here to the Williams shooting range, because of course he did. And had a big ass rally of hatred here. And you should have seen, because it's literally 10 seconds from my house. You should have seen the line of cars down the road, with Confederate flags in the window and big trucks with, balls hanging off the hitch, and, all those kind of people just lined up waiting to scream America and get mad at a Ted Nugent rally. And I drive
by. That's a stereotype.
Well,
I'm just playing.
No,
it is what it is.
No, you're right. It is, but at the same time, that's literally what I saw as I was driving down the road, and in my head, I'm like, man, Ted used to be cool. In my opinion, Ted used to be cool in the 90s or whatever. Yeah, Ted was always kind of an asshole, but I enjoyed his music, and I could listen to his music, and I could enjoy a song like the guitar solos in Stranglehold, or really love something like Free for All, or Just What the Doctor Ordered, but now, and here's something I'll ask you, when can you separate the art from the person making the art? You know what I mean? Because with Ted, I try, and just because he's so in the forefront now, and he's so vocal about just all the stuff he hates and everything that, I can't even separate it anymore.
I understand. But see, what I try to do is try to hold on to that thing that made me interested in that person in the first place, whether it be a song, the person's, family, whatever it might be, or, hopefully it's going to be the music. Because if it's the music, all that other stuff, I'm going to try to put over on the other side. Because we've kind of had conversations about this before in different ways, if you think about it. When we have one of our people that we know that we wanted to say a birthday or a death or whatever, but this person was a child molester or a pedophile, or a murderer, or maybe or whatever. You know what I'm talking about when we talk about those things?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're more easily to separate, we're going to take these people now and just like put them over here. We don't even talk about them anymore. We don't even want to hear from them anymore. But I'm more like, God, but I really like, because I've had a really bad problem with, I really like Ignition by R. Kelly. I'm sorry. When I play a couple different songs, I like the song Ignition by R. Kelly. But see, what we're doing it right there. See, I'm gonna go play it right now. Maybe no, I'm not gonna. But I'm just saying, where you'd be like, "Well, I threw my CDs away." That might be the difference between us when that comes to. I don't know if that's you totally. I mean, you might just think that with certain people, but generally with me, I can't. There are certain people that I guess I could hate, and not hate. Hate is a strong word, or don't care for anymore once I find out things. But I was already on the way there anyway, probably to not. I just need that one more piece of evidence that made me go, yeah, I guess that they weren't really, I heard things and I saw things and read stories and I've done that, but I've never really thought like I can't ever listen because it's just like, it's art. It's the same thing as, getting rid of a book at the library. It's the same thing in my opinion.
I think where I toe the line back and forth for me is I can admit that I like certain songs by people that you probably shouldn't be celebrating. But at the same time, I'm not going to run out and buy their music.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there's other.
Yeah. Do I think the song Ignition by R. Kelly is a banger? Yes. That song,
you play it right after Pony. Listen, you play that right after Pony, and the dance floor will just pack. Pony right after Ignition or vice versa, boom, you're in, man.
But what I'm saying, like, song is
what I'm
awesome. The human being that made the song doesn't deserve to be breathing air.
But so what do you do to separate?
So for me, if that song comes on the radio, will I change it? No. But I'm not going to go out to the store and buy an R. Kelly Greatest Hits. I'm not going to promote his music in any way. Like, it's the same kind of thing where the new Harry Potter game that came out, right? There's a new Harry Potter game, and everybody was up in arms because J.K. Rowling is a transphobe, and we're not going to buy this game because it's made by a transphobe, or not made by, but a transphobe is going to be getting money every time we buy it, whatever. But in reality, and the only thing that made me feel it was okay to buy it personally was the company that made the game distanced themselves from her so much in the fact that she wasn't involved in the creation of the game at all. She had nothing to say about any of the story, nothing. She was not involved. And the way licensing for this kind of stuff works is the company had to give her a little pile of money to use the world she created.
Right.
But she does not get any money when you buy one. When you buy one, she doesn't get a percentage. She got a licensing mechanical rights thing in the beginning.
Yes.
And that's all she got. So for me, I'm like, okay, the company gave her money, but me physically handing over my physical dollars isn't giving her any money. But also, see, that's another thing, though. So because somebody doesn't believe the same thing that I believe, I don't believe that's a legit reason to cancel anybody. Personally. Now, am I transphobic? Absolutely not. I have friends that are trans. And I'm not trying to be like those people like, I'm not racist, I have a black friend. But no, but I do. I have friends that are trans. I have many friends in the community of all of that. And like, I'm a person that believes that every human being has the right to live the life they want to live as long as they're not harming themselves or others. And
yes, that's very true.
And somebody being trans isn't harming a single individual. They're living the best life they know how to live. So why in the world would we ever want to mess with that? But on the flip side, I don't think because another person doesn't share that same belief that everything they make is trash. Now, it's one thing if we'll spin back to R. Kelly for a hot second. That's different.
Okay, so
having a belief system is different than holding women prisoner and, sexually assaulting them for half of their life.
Okay, well, in that same conversation, go back to Kid Rock then. Are we doing that with him because he's political? We hate him for that. Do we hate him for that, or we just think his music sucks? Because, Cocky was a great album. I'm sorry, it really was. It was good for what it was at the time that it was. It was good. He was going with that style of music that was, shortly after that we had Picture. But I'm not ragging on him. I'm really not. But I'm just saying, at the time, that music with the Limp Bizkit and Korn and stuff and rap and rock mixed together, that was a really good album for that.
Man, that was good. Devil Without a Cause.
That's what I was talking about. I said Cocky, but I like
Cocky was
Devil
great
Without
too.
a Cause.
Cocky was
I'm
great
thinking
too.
Devil Without a Cause.
Yeah, his first three. Well, we're not counting the previous Yodeling in the Valley, but Devil Without a Cause, American Badass, I believe, was the second one, and then Cocky was the third one. Were great. They were great.
Yes.
I'm sorry, they were great. For me, it's not so much that I'm boycotting his music because of what he says or does. I think he's a trash human being, personally. But every time he puts out a new song, I listen to it. Because I want to see what, and honestly, he just hasn't put out, in my opinion, he hasn't put out anything good since then. So the new songs that come out are they're horrible.
You know what I feel like, and maybe this could be wrong because I don't even think I listened to the last album, so but I did the one before that and the one before that. He is now in that genre of all my songs are going to sound pretty much the same. It's not going to be a big deal because I'm never going to have a top 10 hit ever again anyway, as far as like a single song,
He's
one song.
He's working hard to make sure that happens. 10. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But so, you know what I mean? Like he's in that AC/DC mode where you know what you're going to get. It's going to sound just like me. It's going to sound, every song is going to be me, and it's going to have the same formula. And you're going to we're going to talk about America here, and we're going to put in, some beer, situation over here. And then we're going to have a song, and then we're going to have a full album out of it. And it's going to not be a big deal, but my fans are going to love it. So they're going to, of course, buy it.
And at the end of the day, that's what matters. That's really all that matters. And
it does.
Do I like his music? No. Am I going to go out and buy it? No. But at the end of the day, there's legions of people that love his stuff. Just like
I would suggest just get a greatest hits for now. That's all you need. You don't have to go get a whole, back catalog, which I did just because I was following along as a DJ, having to keep up with all the music, that people were asking for. I had to. So I do have most, maybe not the last few because I don't, do the stuff that I was doing before. So I wrapping it up. I guess we can wrap that topic up just to say that, just be cool, man, with people, because people are just freaking people, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what sex they are, what, nationality, whatever. No. Why does it matter?
And
why does it matter, though? Seriously, why does it matter? I'm wondering why does it matter?
Yeah. I've never understood
We'll wait for somebody to chime in.
We'll be waiting for a long time. But
hold on. Just dead air. Okay. On purpose. Yeah.
I haven't thought of anything. But
no, I haven't thought of that.
I agree with you, man. I think it doesn't matter. Let everybody live their life. Let everybody be happy.
What does it matter?
Yeah. And I know the media likes to breed fear and hate and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's your choice to latch onto it or not.
Yes. Right.
And have I fallen a victim to that once in a while in my life? Sure. We all have.
I have too.
But realizing that and we're going deep here, realizing that And then altering your behavior and altering your mindset, that's growth. But these people that want to cling to that hate, the growth is never going to happen ever. They're just going to be miserable the rest of their lives.
I don't understand what. See, I just don't get. I know this is sound really cliche, so cliche, and I don't even know what's coming out of my mouth, but I'm going to try to say it. It just seems like if everybody got along or tried to get along, like things would be a lot happier for everybody. If everybody tried to, I'm not saying everybody's going to succeed, but just be kind to somebody for like one day. Let's do, I know there's,
be friends? Why can't we be friends? Right.
Or there comes a time where it need. No.
We are the world.
We are the world, though. Let's just all live in it and be good with it and be good with each other. Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. Look at me. I'm raising up in the air. I'm on video. When the people that can see me, I'm raising up in the air because I'm being
taller.
I did. I feel that's, we should not have it, an ongoing thing, but every once in a while, just give it inspirational something. Because, I feel like there's so much shit going on with everything. It makes it really hard to find the sun behind the clouds. Wow, I'm getting deep today, Chuck.
It's one of them episodes today, man. Like, careful. We're treading on Jason's territory here. We're treading on clouds to the heart mode. We're treading on clouds to the heart territory here. Got to be careful.
Oh, jeez.
Jason's going to throw a brick through our window, but
that's not your show, guys. That's not your show.
But I mean, yeah. Why can't we all just? To quote,
it doesn't make sense.
To quote Rodney King, damn it all. Why can't we all just get along?
Can I tell you one thing here that I think that might be enlightening? And I don't know if this is true because this may be my own prediction, but I feel as generations pass that we have maybe in offices and in high jobs and different things like this. Once these people pass and the younger people start coming through and with their new ideologies, is that it? Can I use that, or ideals? I'll just say and new
ideologies.
Yeah. So I think with this, everybody just you see a lot more racial mixing, and that maybe one day we'll all become one race, and then nobody will be able to bitch about it because there will not be only one. It's just everybody mixed. We're all going to be. It's almost going to be like we're going to be the mutts of the world, like in the human form.
They'll still find something to bitch about. Don't you worry. They'll still find
a little
something.
Mixed because we're all mixed this and that. I have a cousin who has a brother who's really prejudiced, and the one that isn't just went on DNA, ancestry DNA, and found out that he has some black people that were in his family. Oh. And he was really happy about it because he's like, oh, no wonder, like, I'm so loving with everybody and all this stuff. And I love just because he, but his brother, on the other hand, is the total opposite of that. Ooh. And he can't even believe, and he can't believe that his family is like, what is the big deal, people? You know what I mean? One day it's just, I really feel like I'm going to make a prediction. And you say one day it's just going to be one whole thing where everybody's just mixed up and we don't even have name tags for those.
I don't think we'll be alive to see that.
Happen anytime. No, I don't.
I think you're right, though. I think, 100 years from now, let's say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That might very well be a thing. And, I just wish that in our lifetime, people could already see it that way.
Yeah. Well, we have seen a lot of cool things. We saw the first black president. We saw a lot of cool things. Yeah. In our time, we always seem to think that we don't have enough. We wish we could see that happen. But meanwhile, have seen a lot of things happen.
But yeah, we had the first black president, but then all the hateful people in the world made a hard course correction after that. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. But
yeah, well,
and again, God, I'm trying not to do that, but
listen to this. Telephones. When I didn't have a phone when I was 12 years old to call the parents if I needed a ride from the roller rink. I didn't have that. So we've had that in our generation. That is pretty big in technology world, if you think about it. It's not quite Jetsons, but we're getting there.
Although crazy enough, with the exception of two things, we are in Star Trek.
What is that?
Some of it. The cell phone? Okay. What we're doing right now, the Zoom call that we record the show with?
Yes.
Star Trek.
Right.
Because remember in Star Trek, Captain Kirk, when he'd get a call, put it on the screen. Oh boy, on a video screen, talking to a dude in another planet on a video screen.
Yes.
Now, in the 60s, that wasn't even a realistic thing. Now, we can do it for free. Or a subscription like I had to pay for if we want to record more than 20 minutes. But, we have that. We have space travel. We have, electric cars. We have... And like you, I didn't have a cell phone as a kid. Like, I went through, so I graduated in 99. So through my lifetime, elementary school and middle school, if I needed my parents at school, it was a payphone. Put a quarter in.
Did you have a pager?
I did. When I got into high school, I got a pager.
Yes.
My freshman year. And then my... senior year was my first cell phone, and it was a big cell phone, and it was one you just paid for minutes on because that was what you did back then.
Yes.
I mean, we got to witness the birth of the internet, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we have seen a lot of, we've seen a lot of historical things, some good, some horrible, but we've seen a lot of amazing things. We've
even went through the progression of our internet, starting with the remember that?
Yeah.
And then waking up, your wife, just in case you were trying to watch porn, making sure that I'm hearing that this stuff happen. Where you're trying to oh shit, I can't let her know that I'm on the computer when I got home from work, But that was a long time ago. So that wasn't one of those technologies that was cool, and I'm really glad that got updated, for different reasons, not for that particular reason. I'm not really saying for that reason, but I'm going to say that was one. You know how I play. I play around.
Ladies and gentlemen, we know what Hitman's doing after. We know what you're doing after we're done recording this episode. Ooh, doggy.
No, there's people here. No, I don't do that. I don't know.
A great term I heard once is 70% of the world, 80% of the world does it. The other 20% lie about it.
True.
Everybody does it. Just does.
True.
Not that we're going to do a whole episode about it. I'm just saying. But
okay, so let's flip over to something else, because that one could get us banned. I feel like that topic real quick.
Hey, we are a mature audience show, sir. It's fine.
Mature audiences only.
Not only, but if you're letting your kid listen, that's your own fault.
Okay, so you know how I got that gift card from that one place? We don't have to say where it's from, but and I saw a couple things there when we were there the last time you and I were there together.
So man, being all secretive, a gift card from a store.
No, I'm not trying to be secret. No, because I don't want to give props if we don't have to. The store, you and I.
Fair. Yep. Go ahead.
And I saw a couple Funkos there. Mm-hmm. But my gift card is $25, and the one that I really want is $25, or it might have even been $30. It was that Al Bundy Funko with his hand in his pants and his remote in his other hand, and his other hand in his pants. I really want that. I keep thinking about it, and I know is it vaulted? Do you know about that kind of stuff for them?
I don't know,
because I've never even seen it. I also
slippery slope, man.
They came out of nowhere. These ones come out of nowhere. I saw they had Bluto from Animal House.
Oh, fun.
John Belushi in the toga. I've never seen that one. So yeah, I feel like if I get to go into Flint today, maybe I don't want to go to Flint today, do I? I spent too much money. I'm not going to Flint today.
I
Never
know, I
mind.
go to Flint all the time.
I do. I know you go to Flint all the time.
Not by choice half the time, though.
I live south, and you live. You would be east, wouldn't you? Would you be on the east side?
Yeah. Well, no. I'm in Davison, so I'm not in Flint. Ain't no east
Davison's
side.
east side.
Ain't no east side over here.
No, I'm just saying you're driving east. I'm not really saying you're on the east side because
you got to go east to get to Davison. Yeah.
Did you have any? Did you watch a movie or anything? What'd you watch on TV last night?
We've been watching Sons of Anarchy.
Oh,
my girlfriend's never seen the show, and so we like to show each other stuff that like one has seen but the other hasn't. And apparently it was my turn, and we're watching Sons of Anarchy, which I've seen before,
really?
but I haven't watched it since it was. But I haven't seen it since it was on TV. Like I watched it when it was on, you know. But Hulu has it, so we've been watching that. And really, I mean, that's really kind of all we've been, you know. Really looking. Me and my buddy of mine are going to go see the Dungeons and Dragons movie here soon, which I've heard a lot of really good things about. But as far as new movies, like there's nothing out right now aside from that I really even care.
I feel like there is. I feel like there is though, because you know, and I know this is why they do that. They send stars out on TV shows to hype up the new movies coming out. That's what the deal is. And if they show a clip that I'm interested in, it seems like maybe like the person that's hosting the show is truly interested and not just faking it because they're trying to sell the movie for the person, which I felt for this one. It was Matt Damon was on Jimmy Fallon last night, and he's promoting his new movie Air, which he directed. It's about the Nike Air shoe, and it's about Air Jordans. Why couldn't I say that? Yeah,
they're about
the whole thing is about. No, it's not a documentary, but Viola
like
Davis plays. Yeah, no, it's not even. It's not about Michael Jordan. It's about Nike.
Well, right, but
and
I mean,
how they
like,
made
but I mean, like, it's about a biopic in the sense of it's a true story.
Yeah, I mean, I think they talk. Viola Davis, I think, plays Michael Jordan's mother, who was in it.
Love her.
And you know, Ben Affleck is in it, of course, because Matt Damon. You know, they sometimes go together a lot, and so some of the scenes that I watched look pretty good. I don't know if it's a going to the movies movie. It's definitely going to be a streaming movie when it's available, though.
Well, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck now have their own production company.
That's the first one with that company, he said.
Is it? Well, now I have to see it.
Yeah. And there's like a lot of really famous, I can't remember some of the other, there's a few other kind of, you know, I think there might be like one more really famous person. I can't remember, but they were showing a couple different scenes.
What's the movie called?
Well, it's called Air.
Oh, okay.
AIR, Air.
I'm looking it up right now.
It's about Air Jordan. Yeah, the invention of the Air Jordan, and I guess of how that came to be and how it got so big.
Wow.
Because back in the day, I just want to tell you this, back in the day when the Air Jordans came out, Nike was the third. They were struggling in the shoe company. Mm-hmm. Adidas was number one. And then Adidas was number two. I can't remember. I'm not even going to mess that up. But anyway, they're number three. Adidas was 2 or 1. And then another shoe company was the other one. I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, gosh, dang it.
Skechers?
Anyway. No. See, these were back in the 80s. So you had Puma and you had
Puma, Adidas, Reebok.
It might have been Reebok. It might have been Reebok. So it might have been like Reebok number 1 and then Adidas. It's something like that, yeah, for sure. You can look it up, I'm sure.
So yeah,
but it's the history of that.
The big cast people. It's Matt Damon, Jason Bateman.
Yes.
Ben Affleck. Chris Messina, who looks familiar, but I can't quite place what I know him. Oh, he's from Argo. Okay. Viola Davis and Chris Tucker.
Yeah, see, these people have been on the different shows. I saw last night with Matt Damon, but the night before that, Jason Bateman was on there. And they were, Jimmy Fallon, because I watch it every night. So they're promoting this movie, but I guess maybe Viola Davis will be on there tonight. I don't know. No, but I think it looks pretty interesting. And there's some really good people that have to say yes to a movie. And most of the time, the really good actors know when the bullshit's in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most of the time they get, sometimes it's the director's fault or whatever, but it's very rarely a really good movie. Yes. Yeah. But
maybe we'll have to go.
Would you go to that?
I would.
I was going to say, would you go to that?
I would. Maybe we'll have to do a Hanging with the Hitman at the movies, and go check out the movie, Yeah.
We can have our afterthoughts on a Zoom at the movie theater, sitting down in a area where people come in and have chairs and stuff.
They'll be like, "Sir, you guys have to leave. The movie's over."
Yeah, you're not doing that here. You're not doing that.
We'll do it from the parking lot.
Yes.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up with that. I certainly would be down for seeing that. Maybe next week or something. We'll have to get together and go peep that.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to, of course, see a matinee like we do. This isn't a nighttime movie. I don't think this is just like an afternoon to me.
Well, plus, if you go see a movie at night, you're gonna fall asleep.
True. No, know why? No, you know why? Because I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom at least twice. So if a movie's 2 hours, I'm gonna have to be up for at least half hour, 45 minutes at a time to to fall asleep for 10, 15. But no, I could probably do it. I'm sure I could. But no, I really would like to see that during the day. The whole day, not day, but lunch and all that stuff. We'll do that.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank you all for tuning in to this episode. Please, we hope you check back every week as we drop a new episode every Monday on the PFC Entertainment Network. Check us out on Facebook. They have a Facebook page where all the shows are funneled through. You can also watch us live on YouTube. You can watch our beautiful faces on YouTube. No? Well, you can see our faces on YouTube.
You can just look at us. Look at us talk. We ain't trying to we ain't glamming it up in this. We're not trying to glamour it up. We just do what?
Speak for yourself. I wore a hat today.
Look at my shirt.
I wore a hat today, sir.
I forgot about this shirt. I have a shirt that has the thing that people do not understand of my generation should, and it really disappoints me when people don't know that the symbol that's on my shirt is the 45 adapter symbol, which I think is one of the coolest symbols. It's not a symbol, but to me it looks like a symbol, so it's a symbol.
Right.
Doesn't it look like a symbol?
It does. Look like a superhero logo.
I'm gonna get a tattoo.
Dun, 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 Vinyl Man, All right, so anyway. Until next week, Vinyl Man and I are going to get out of here. We hope you all have a safe and wonderful weekend. It's supposed to get beautiful weather out, so I hope you all get outside, enjoy the weather. And until next time, my name is Todd Gilbert.
And I'm Brett Fortney, the Hitman.
And we'll see you all on the flip side.
Toodles.